I think laziness is one of the most overlooked sins, and we're going to be covering some Bible verses in today's video. And the first one I want to talk about, I believe it's in James. I don't have it directly pulled up right now, but it says, if a man know the good he ought to do, and he doesn't do it, it is sin. And I think we can interpret that as good in the sense of, like, say you see a homeless man across the street, and he pulls up to you, and you conveniently have money, and you know the good to do, but you choose not to do it, that's sin. And I also think this can be translated to good in our own lives. Like, when we look at good as, like, say you're providing for your family or whatever, or you're supposed to do something because your parents have paid for all this money for this college, right? You know the good you're supposed to do, because it is good to serve others. It is good to provide for your family, or to, like, aid your parents, basically, because they've done so much for you. If you choose not to do that good, it is genuine sin, because you can label that as good. Good is not just self-serving acts like Christ does. And another verse I wanted to talk about is Ecclesiastes 10:18. I probably didn't say that right, but because of laziness, the building decays, and through idleness of hands, the house leaks. Neglecting responsibilities leads to deterioration and loss. And I think when we let procrastination and laziness and avoiding these tasks that we have to do in life stack up, it genuinely does deteriorate our life. Think of the building right here, it says decays. Think of the building as yourself, your life. The building decays, and through idleness of hands, the house leaks. Neglecting responsibilities is deterioration and loss. You lose things deteriorate in your life. This can spread to people in your life. This can spread to the pursuit of your career, your money, everything. When you choose not to do things that God has gave you willingly, he gave you this life, he gives you opportunities to do things, you neglect these, your life will deteriorate. And the same way, when God gives you opportunities and you seize them, you take advantage of them, and you pursue that career and do what you're supposed to do, your life will benefit. It stacks over and over in time, and God will continue to reward and bless you. So it goes both ways. If you want to continue to stack positive things or continue to stack negative things and miss out on things, then you will deteriorate over time. And Timothy 5:8 says, anyone who does not provide for their relatives, especially for their own household, has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. So Timothy is saying that it is worse to be lazy as a Christian than it is to literally not believe in God in the first place. I mean, that's a little harsh. I don't know. That's just pretty crazy. But, like, genuinely, if you don't provide for your relatives, especially for your own household, you have denied the faith. Because think about it. God gave you this life, and I saw this reference, and it's just like, imagine somebody gave you a really nice Ferrari to look after for a week, right? And you come back and it has dents and scratches in it. That's how you lended this person a Ferrari to drive around and take care of, and this is how they treat it. This is how they give it back to you. Think of your own life and your body, everything, as a Ferrari. Like, how are you going to treat that Ferrari, that gift that God gave you? Are you going to use your body to be lazy, sloth around, live in the flesh? Are you going to choose it to serve Christ and genuinely serve others around you and provide for your household? Because these people rely on you, especially if you're a man. Then Proverbs 13:4 says, the soul of the sluggard craves and gets nothing, while the soul of the diligent is richly supplied. Laziness leads to unfulfilled desires, while diligence brings satisfaction. Like, think about when you've set things out to do in your day, and you genuinely do them, and you execute that plan you had for the day, you get that satisfaction. And then when you prosper from that, and what all this hard work you've put into something prospers, that satisfaction is there. That's how God has set up our lives. So God has set up the system of reward in our brain, that when we genuinely try hard for something and we put in that hard work and we're not lazy about it, we will get that satisfaction. That's why it says laziness leads to unfilled desires. Because you're lazy, you skip out on these things, you think to yourself, like, oh, I need to do this again, I need to do this. Then you start to get depressed, you start to get sad, because you're unfilled inside, because you haven't genuinely followed these desires that you have to do. When you have a God-given desire that God gives you, this hot thought that he puts in your head, and you're choosing to directly ignore it and go against it and be lazy and live in the flesh, you will feel sad. You will feel the repercussions of that. And God has set up a system like that, like I said previously, that if you choose not to do the things that God and the opportunities that God has put in your life, you will feel unfulfilled. And when you do those things, you do get that satisfaction. So, guys, God bless.